Hey guys, today I want to talk about the Game of Thrones Tarot. I got this tarot deck probably about 2 years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with this tarot deck. And if I will say that if you are a fan of the Game of Thrones, I would recommend you going out and getting this deck. And yes, you can read from this deck. The Game of Thrones has so much storytelling in it, so much of things that relate to the real world, um, so many things that we experience in our own life that, yes, you can give a pretty accurate reading from this tarot deck. This is the back of it, which features some of the cards and features some of the characters. Like right here, you can see that is one of the White Walkers, and of course that's Littlefinger, and yeah, this is really really cool. All right, so as I said, this is the back of the card, which features the throne of the Game of Thrones, and this is one of the cards that stood out. This is of course Varys, and he was known as the Spider, and he was one of the advisors to the king. Very cool card, and it really captures his personality. Each one of these cards. Oh, I do want to mention this comes with a booklet. If I can find it real quick. Here we go. This is the booklet that comes with it. So if you would look up the Hierophant, it would tell you a little bit about the character, and it would tell you about what the card means in this deck. And a lot of that you can kind of figure out yourself. If you're a fan of the Game of Thrones, and if you read the tarot, you can figure a lot of this out yourself without the book. But I know a lot of people like to read the book also, which I do also. So you have a book here that can also help you in your readings. Alright, so this is the Spider, Daenerys. Here he goes again. He's the Six of Cups. Same guy. Now I love how they capture some of his facial expressions. He was one of the really cool characters in the Game of Thrones. And another character, one of the characters we love to hate, this is Littlefinger. And this is totally a card that fits him. This is the King of Coins. And he was always after money and power. So I can definitely see this in this card. Because that's what the coins mean. It means money. And I'm pretty sure that's how they explain this in the booklet when dealing with this guy here. Okay, this is Tyrion Lannister, the Page of Coins. And if you're asking yourself who's the Fool card in this tarot deck, of course it has to be Tyrion Lannister, the Fool. And the interesting thing, I just noticed this right now. Those of you who watched the Game of Thrones, remember the one scene where Tyrion goes down and I think he was either feeding the dragons or he was locking them up or something because Daenerys Targaryen was not around. So he was sort of like in charge, and he's dealing with the dragons. So, which is a very foolish thing to do if you don't have that real connection with the dragons. So he was lucky to get out of there in one piece. The Fool. The Magician, the guy who pulls the wool over your eyes. So here we go. We have Littlefinger again. The Priestess. This is one of my favorite characters in the Game of Thrones. She's oftentimes overlooked. And this, of course, is the Red Witch. I can't remember her actual name in the Game of Thrones series, but I always refer to her as the Red Witch because she always wore red. And I really liked her character in the Game of Thrones. Okay, so this is Daenerys Targaryen. This is the Empress, which is very fitting. And I really like the way the artist captures a lot of the facial expressions in these cards. Really excellent. Okay, of course, this is someone that everyone loves. This is Jon Snow. He is the Emperor. The next card is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords, of course, this is the Lannister card because you can see with the lions here. And it says here, Lannister always pays his debts. One of the recurring themes in the Game of Thrones. Another one of my favorite characters. One of the characters everyone loves to hate. This is the leader of the White Walkers. This is Cersei. This is the Queen of Swords. This is Arya, the Two of Swords. This was when she was in that, I don't know what you call it, a monastery, or when she was training and learning how to refine her skills when she went blind at one point. So this is basically from that part of her life and the Two of Swords. Here we go again with Jon Snow, the King of Cups. And this, if I can remember her name, I'm going to look it up real quick before I show you the card. So I'm drawing a blank. Oh, this is Sansa. Sansa Stark. You can see that. Beautiful, beautiful card. This, let me look up this character's name. It's been a while since I've watched this TV show, so I'll forget some of the names. Okay, so this is Brian Stark. Interesting. It has here a sword, has a dragon, has some type of fluid being poured into a cup. Yeah, so this is a card you really have to study and go over all the meanings. And kind of review the television show and say, okay, I know what this means, I know what that means. And if you're doing a reading for someone, you'd be prepared to give them a pretty good reading based on the symbology in this card. So I'll give you guys a closer look of the card. This here is Ned Stark. He is the King of Spears. This, I believe, is Daenerys Targaryen. Pretty sure that's her. One of the things they don't tell you is which character this is, but I'm pretty sure that's her. I don't think that's Cersei. This is Grey Worm. He was one of the warriors. Those of you who are familiar with the series. This is Daenerys Targaryen again. And here we go again with the Ice Zombie King. This is Judgment. Isn't this interesting? I could think of probably other characters who could be Judgment rather than this guy. But, yeah. Interesting. I think Jon Snow would probably make a good Judgment character. Other people too. Trying to think. God, what is the guy's name? The spider guy? Let me look him up again. Veneris. He would make a good judgment card. So let me show you him again. I think he would be better at judgment because that's what he did. He judged, you know. And very harsh judge too. And that's one of the things that got him killed in the series. So here we go with the moon. And those of you who are familiar with the series know that some people lost their lives when they got pushed down the moon well. Okay. This, and I can't remember this character's name, and it'll take me too long to look it up here, but we all remember him. He's the guy who was like the worst character other than the White Walkers in the Game of Thrones. This guy, the devil. I'll put his name in the description. I just can't think of his name right offhand. But yeah, he's one of the guys who you love to hate in the Game of Thrones. Okay, this is Arya. Represents death. And this is very interesting because that's what she was doing. She was taking revenge, you know. It's like the other part of her life was basically, you know, the first part when you first see her, you know, she's a child growing up. Then her dad and her parents get killed, and she goes out and she murders the people who are responsible. So yeah, she could be judgment too. Yeah, she definitely could be judgment. But here she's death. And of course, we have Brian Stark, who is the Hermit. There's some other people who I wish they would have had in this tarot deck. I wish they would have had the Mountain. That would have been good. He could have been the devil too. There's, like I said, a host of other characters that I wish would have been in this deck. And I don't think they're in the deck, like I said. We're only looking at a couple of cards, so I don't remember seeing him in this deck. But yeah, he would definitely be a really good character to have in here. Anyway, these are the cards. And if you're interested, and if you're a Game of Thrones, I would recommend you going out and getting this deck. Those of you who follow me on my YouTube channel know that the only decks that I really will present to you guys are tarot decks that I like. I'm not really into reviewing tarot decks that I don't like. If I don't like them, why bother doing a video on it? Alright, until next time, love is the law. If you're a fan, go out and get this tarot deck. And peace, Uncle Josh Neb, and all that good stuff.